The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to Soccer to the Max. Yes, we are not dead. We just kind of went into a big delay that was not intended at all, but various reasons, not many that I'm going to go into. Some of it had to do with my dog passing, so he will be immortalized on this podcast. You won't have to hear his barking and everything else anymore. So Bambino, you will live in podcast memories. And I also got to give love to my brother in arms, Gary, who we wouldn't have this network if it wasn't for him as well. He's going through a lot of stuff this month. His dad had a heart attack a couple of days ago. His two twins were born, but they were born premature. Luckily, they're progressing. He had an uncle pass. I mean, the guy's had everything happen to him in a month, so we haven't done the wrestling podcast for a while because of that, so just wanted to say we're always thinking of you, Gary, and, just saying that. And, of course, in good news, Rachel has graduated.
Finally! It happened by the skin of my teeth, but that doesn't matter because I did it. I don't know how, and I didn't trip walking across the stage, too, but my ADHD kicked in so badly.
Well, waiting in the line?
Waiting in the line, just kind of like, as I got up, I was like, oh, adrenaline, let's do this. And then I walked across the stage and I was like, can I leave?
Because you got to go back to your seat, right?
Yeah, I just sit for there another, 40 minutes.
Oh, that's the worst.
Shout out to the CalU class of 2018, though. We did it, folks.
Awesome. Congratulations to Rachael McKriger for that one. And where are you? Do you want to let everybody know on where you're going next?
Point Park for grad school, and who knows about a job, but I'm getting my CDL license soon, so I'm gonna be a trucker.
There you go.
Wait a minute, that wasn't a joke?
No, that was legit.
Huh. Okay.
And before anyone asks, yes, I can reach the pedals.
I wouldn't think about that, but she said it for herself, so. Were you thinking about that, Erik?
Not really, but I saw the videos and I'm like, wait, something isn't 100% about this.
Now you got your confirmation.
Huh. Alrighty then. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering this again while I'm sober, but good to know for right now.
I got you, buddy.
Well, we will drive this podcast on.
Hey.
Thankfully, we don't have to reach any pedals for this one. I just have to click a mouse. So it's much easier.
Look, as long as you don't do what Bayern Munich did at the end of the German Cup final, you'll be A-okay.
For people who didn't watch that like me, what did they do at the end of the German Cup final?
5 minutes and 12 seconds into stoppage time. Eintracht Frankfurt just scored a wonder goal thanks to Ante Rebic. Bayern has a corner after a VAR decision kind of goes in their favor. Eintracht defends that corner successfully. They make a break, except there's one minor problem. Bayern's keeper is standing at the end of the attacking 6-yard box. All the Eintracht players push forward. As soon as it breaks into about a 3-on-2 kind of a situation, Eintracht scores an empty net goal. That was the end of the match.
Nice.
Congratulations to Eintracht for winning their first cup since 1988.
Take that, Bayern Munich. You don't win everything.
Yeah. And an extra bit of news, Eintrecht's coach is actually going to Bayern next season. So, yeah, that's not awkward at all.
Hot dog.
Well,
What?
that explains some things. All right. So what happened today was the announcement of the U.S. men's national team roster that will play in the three well, not for the U.S., but World Cup friendlies happening on May 28th, June 2nd, and June 9th. They're playing Bolivia first, Ireland on June 2nd in Dublin, and France in Deceuninck in June 9th. I have no idea if I said that correctly or not. And I'm sorry to the French people that I might have just desecrated where you live, but alright. I'll have to get over it. So the big thing is Christian Pulisic is coming back to play for USMNT, and there is quite a few uncapped players in here. There's 4 that are only 20. Just pretty nice little group of youngsters here, guys. Alex Bono, Bill Hamid, Ethan Horvath, your keepers. Cameron Carter-Vickers, who just got his contract renewed with Tottenham till 2021. Congrats to him. Eric Lehigh, Matt Miazga, Matthew Olasunde, Eric Palmer-Brown, Anton Robinson, Jorge Villafana, who sadly got like $20,000 stolen from him in Mexico. Walker Zimmerman, Joe Corona, Lyndon Gooch, Julian Green, making an appearance. Alejandro Guido, who was the only American to play in the Mexican playoffs, starting from the semifinals. Weston McKennie, Keaton Parks, Christian Pulisic, Ruben Rubin, Tim Weah, and Andrea Novakovic and Josh Sargent are your forwards. Pretty eclectic group here. What do you think?
I like the Ethan Horvath call-up. I think Bill Hamid will get his time in net, but I think him and Alex Bono are good call-ups too. I like the difference in it. I'm excited to see somebody that isn't Brad Guzan or Nick Raimondo, as much as I love Nick Raimondo, but I like it. I like that they're keeping familiarity on defense too, because with all those new goalkeepers, you want to have some familiarity with Matt Miazga and Jorge Villafana. So I dig it.
I'm sure you enjoy the only 2 MLS players were called up for this.
Thank God. I'll tell you who I missed though. I miss Matt Beasler.
Matt Beasler was always a rock at defense. What do you think, Eric?
I mean, one thing to look at is not just the particular youth with the uncapped players and the 4 players that are only 20. The average age of the entire lineup is 22. And you have those somewhat veteran, in quotes, guys to build around, like your Lehigh, like your Christian Pulisic. I think for what we're trying to do going forward into this upcoming World Cup cycle, this is a great move. And I'd love to see where we're going to be starting out at. This is the best way to do it.
Yeah, I like not knowing some of the names in here, too. That perhaps we get to see them, perhaps we don't. I hope Tim Weah gets to play a lot more than he did the last time around. I have never seen Novakovic play, so we'll be interested to see what he does. And Josh Sargent is always somebody to look out for. He can score so many different kinds of goals. And Weston McKennie, it's been a while since we've seen him, so very interesting looking lineup. Going to be cool to see Pulisic with a lot of guys around his age, too. Most of the people he plays with are much, much older when it comes to the national team, so will be interesting on that end. But
surprised to not see Christian Roldan on there, though.
Yeah, I think for the most part, they wanted to keep MLS out of it because of, everybody's going to be taking that break for the World Cup, so they wanted to keep everybody I think MLS like not losing many players at all. Plus, the Europeans are about to go either to the World Cup and play or on vacation. So.
Yeah, this is their teeny little break between, just wrapping up their season and going into the off season. So this is prime time to try to get who you want to give those, I wouldn't say meaningful in the traditional sense minutes, but kind of meaningful to where before they get into that off-season form.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want them losing. Get them right now when they're not off that form yet and see what you can do. They are going to have some time together between May 28th and they'll probably get called in a little bit before then to go to the camp. And, all the way to that June 9th game. So that's a lot of time to have that group together and get to gel. Also, something that's a little old by now, but just we haven't gotten to talk about it. The U.S. and Mexico are not going to be at the 2019 Copa America. It was basically for Mexico, it was CONCACAF and CONMEBOL. This is going along with what a lot of other countries are doing where they're not. Outside of Asia, every other country is doing their big confederation thing in June or July now, so that they don't have, having to take players outside of their club to go play in the winter. Asia's still keeping theirs in the winter, but even the African Cup of Nations have been moved. So right now, CONCACAF is not ceding to CONMEBOL and going, oh, we'll just play our games in July and you play yours in June. We might have the Gold Cup and Copa America going on at the same time in 2019, guys. So that's going to be fun to have to keep track of both of them. So instead of the U.S. and Mexico, guess what Copa America is going to have? Japan, who will take an underage team because they'll be getting ready for the 2020 Olympics that they're hosting. And Qatar.
Oh,
yes, that great nation of Qatar. So they can go over there and get blown out by all the South American teams.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah, as if the Qataris haven't done enough to us. I mean, really? Damn it, people! And I swore that I wasn't going to get as mad during this show. Nah, Japan, I can understand. They actually have history in Copa America. Kudos to them for taking advantage of this very strategic opportunity. Cutter and God, I feel like smacking people. I am really in no condition to do this.
Erik, would you rather have them or the mailmen?
You know what? I would actually rather see the mailmen in this instance. I really would.
Hey, the mailmen have much more experience in competitions.
Yes, let them. I mean, they need to do something. It's not like they're going to be busy in the middle of summer.
Yeah, right?
Oh, Erik.
No, and the best part too is, talk about affecting us, I guess, as the United States. Of course, the United States is involved in that 2026 World Cup bid. Well, now Gianni Infantino is trying to one-up that U.S. bid because the U.S. bid was going to be special because it was going to be the first World Cup with 48 teams in it. Well, no, my friend. Gianni Infantino is actually trying to make the Qatar World Cup the first World Cup with 48 teams. So can you imagine? Can you imagine that we're watching this, on Thanksgiving? Not only that, we're watching this on Thanksgiving, but we're having to watch more teams play. So
let me get this straight, Infantino. You're not only going to give us this on Christmas, but you're going to, and you, wow, would anybody object if I went ahead and snuck away and just had a teensy bit more of that Dragonberry rum? Because I
think you need it.
I don't understand this because, Qatar already had a problem building the stadiums and everything else that they have, why are we going to give them more teams to deal with?
So they're going to build even more stadiums and more money and it.
I mean, they have the money to waste, but it's like, do you want to create more problems in your country? And I don't know where we need to have this happen that quickly. Like,
this is stupid. Let's just call it what it is. Flat out stupid. And trying to get them to have a middle finger at us. And you know what? I can't even complain about it for all of our hijinks and shenanigans.
I almost feel like this is FIFA just being like, let's just double down on the whole that we never took the World Cup away from Qatar and just, hey, let's give them more teams. Let's make it even a bigger deal. Let's make people even more mad.
And you're going to also pretty much tweak qualification almost right as it's about to begin.
Well, they have to, yeah. I mean, they have to make this decision at the same time that they're going to be awarding the 2026 World Cup bid. They got to make all these decisions of, you know, are they going to make it more teams for Qatar in 2022? You know, what are they going to do with all of the allegations and the problems and all that other stuff? So they got to decide this quick. Right before the World Cup, they got to make all these decisions. So it's going to be very interesting how the next qualification goes. And you know, perhaps this does alleviate some of the U.S. fears, though, because with 48 teams, you'd imagine there's no way the U.S. doesn't qualify, but stranger things have happened, I guess.
Yeah. A certain someone warned about a certain revenge match.
Oh, we still going on about this? Like,
damn right, I'm still
happened already. I still stand that those youngins weren't remembering that at that point.
Yeah, tell that to the 85 Bears when all of a sudden before Monday Night Football against Chicago, guys from the 72 team showed up. They knew what time it was.
Oh, that's different. The 72 team is just like a glory hounds of not wanting anybody to break that record. I totally understand why they are, but, you know, they still have celebrations to this day for that. It's crazy. Moving on, though. To more 20. We'll get to the World Cup bid part of it later because there's some more things stewing with people wanting to vote along political lines, and it's not meshing well with the sporting aspect of things. But 2018 World Cup crew has been announced by Fox for their announcers.
Allie Wagner.
Exactly, Allie Wagner. Sadly, she'll be calling out of the studio because I guess Fox didn't want to spend enough money to send more than 2 crews to Russia, but, you know, whatever, Fox.
Hey, you're not the ones that made a whole big, huge gamble and are going to be taking it on the chin of that deal. Yeah, sure.
So John Strong and Stu Holden will be the main team, but they won't announce the first game. JP Dellacamera and Tony Meola get that honor of announcing the Russia-Saudi Arabia game, and then they'll be the second
Russia!
team. Derek Ray, of course, we all remember from our childhoods and on, announcing Champions League games with Allie Wagner, so that'll be an awesome duo there. Glenn Davis, Kobe Jones, Jorge Perez Navarro, my favorite guy, and Mariano Trujillo probably announcing the Mexico games and some, you know, Latin team games at that point. And Mark Followell, Go Mavs, and Warren Barton will be the last team. So, yeah, Allie Wagner will be the first ever female to broadcast a men's World Cup.
You're damn right she is, and it's about damn time.
So, that's pretty cool for her, too. So, and she is awesome. Like, I think anytime I hear her on something, you know you're getting something good. So I'm excited to hear her. Of course, everybody we saw at the Confederations Cup will be the same. As far as in studio, and that of course means our good friend Fernando Fiore will be in there with his hijinks. Hernan Crespo, of course, the Argentina striker, he's been added along with Moises Munoz and Kelly Smith. The rest of them are the same that we saw at the Confed Cup. Lothar Matthäus, Gus Hiddink, Ian Wright, all those guys. So if you, whether you don't like Fox or you do, of course you have the other option at Telemundo as well. You can hear Andres Cantor do his wonderful goal call. But yeah, you have that option. So that's cool and awesome for Ali Wagner as well. And just to touch on the Women's World Cup for a second, CONMEBOL has added all three of their teams, Brazil and Chile. Chile is making the first time qualifying. They're in. Argentina is in against the CONCACAF team, the fourth place CONCACAF team in the playoff. So they join all five of the Asian nations and France, the host, as the first teams in the Women's World Cup. The rest of it will be figured out by the end of the year. So cool for CONMEBOL. They're in. And cool for Chile as well. Congrats to the Chilean women.
Yeah, Yanira Edo from Washington scores a ton of goals, yet she can't even start in a match.
Sadness on that end. So it's been a while since we talked about NWSL, Rachel. It's been a month since we've done a show. What's happened in this last week? I'm going to run over the results here, and then you can talk about whatever you want as far as the teams here. Utah beat Houston 1-0. Washington lost to Portland 1-0. The Courage beat Sky Blue 2-1, including a Carly Lloyd, last minute try, but was too late to get them any closer than one goal behind. And Seattle and Chicago got on Nillers at that one. Anything of note for you from this week, or just from since the last time we talked about NWSL, that you want to talk about a player or a team or whatever?
I would just like to make a plea here, and I feel like Eric might have my back here on this one, to Denise Reddy of Sky Blue. When Carly Lloyd doesn't perform, she's not good. She didn't perform all last season with Houston. She's not performing all this season for Sky Blue. Yet, she plays 90 minutes while Raquel Rodriguez, a Costa Rican forward midfielder who is fantastic in every way, shape, and form, sits on the bench. Denise Reddy needs to stop thinking of how the fans are going to react and pull Carly Lloyd, because she is not good right now. She and Shea Groom have not connected together. It's been a total nightmare, and Sky Blue is worse than Houston, the worst team in the league right now, and they are not bouncing back anytime soon.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I can't argue that. If you have someone with that level of versatility, yet you're playing for someone because of what they were and not how you are, Denise, no. You're playing in New Jersey. Have you seen New Jersey fans? Do you know what New Jersey people are capable of? No. Do yourself a favor. Come on now.
Also, North Carolina is just going to win the whole Shield because nobody can catch up to them. Utah and Orlando are going up, 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 and Washington is going down, 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 down. But the dark horse in the league right now is Seattle. And I love the fact that they have a really good system where, yeah, when Megan Rapinoe was out, it hurt for a minute, but then Beverly Yanez came right in and just scored I think she scored a goal or two. She's pretty darn good.
Yeah, so here are the standings as we go. As Rachel said, trying to catch North Carolina is going to be difficult because they are, with 9 games played, have 23 points, and that's closest team is Seattle, even though they have 2 games in hand. With 14, Orlando has at least a game in hand, if not 2. With 12, Portland has 12 and Chicago have 12, so there's a deadlock between 3 and 5. Utah is right there with them at 11, with at least 2 games in hand. and Houston has 7. Washington has 5, and Sky Blue has 1 point, folks. 1.
Don't look into Houston being over Washington too much, because that's... Give it time. Rose Lavelle's still injured. Give it time.
Washington has at least a game in hand, too. Sky Blue does have, 3 or 4 games in hand, possibly, but still. 1 point out of the games you played.
Denise, wake up. You're going to lose your job.
Look, losing a job in New Jersey is one thing. She's lucky that she's not going to get the cement shoe treatment.
Damn. Erik is just putting it there.
Look, like I said, it's New Jersey. I have people that will back me up on this.
Well, moving on to the MLS side of things, because it's been a while for them, too, for us to talk about them. The NYCFC blanked Colorado 4-0. Portland beat LAFC 2-1. FC Dallas had a stupid own goal go off somebody's shin and allowed Vancouver to draw 2-2. Columbus 1-0 over New England. Philadelphia 4-1 over Real Salt Lake. DC with a new addition of Wayne Rooney coming along, 3-1.
Damn it, Ben. Sorry.
Well, that one's very appropriate with, everybody seems to be, including Taylor Twillman, who just absolutely just rocked that decision with, yeah, you're bringing in Wayne Rooney. This is why you haven't done anything in 10 years.
Now, see, if you were bringing in Manchester United Wayne Rooney, I would be on board with this. I would fly up to D.C., give Ben a hug, tell him everything is forgiven and all is right with the world. But no, you decided to wait all this time and now you're getting Everton Rooney. Damn it, Ben, what is wrong with you? Jesus.
It's amazing to me that Rooney is 32. I feel like he should be older.
He should.
Wait, isn't Ronaldo 33? Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why the hell are all these people roughly our age, Sean? What happened?
Well, everybody gets older.
All the people on the U.S. men's roster are my age.
God, now we feel really old, Erik.
Oh, get the hell off my lawn, Ben. I shake my walking stick at thee.
Also, Minnesota and Sporting 1-1. Minnesota just lost their 3rd player for the year with Finley out with a torn ACL.
Oh, Lord.
Chicago.
Look forward to Minnesota.
Houston beat Chicago 3-2, and Atlanta lost to the Red Bulls today 3-1. There's still one game with Montreal playing the Galaxy on Monday that I think still counts.
Zlatan's little arrival hasn't really done much.
No, it has not. He decided not to unretire to go play at the World Cup, so I think that should let you know everything about how he feels about himself. Just to talk about what Zlatan has not done. They are still in 9th with only 10 points coming into this. They would be tied with Minnesota and Real Salt Lake if they can win tomorrow, but the way things have been going, perhaps not. Just only behind them is San Jose, Seattle, who's been doing awful.
Don't say it.
In Colorado.
I've suffered enough this season.
I'm sorry, Rachel.
It is so bad. Literally, our whole team is injured.
Welcome to my world, minus the injuries. At least Jason finally did something right, aside from what happened in Toronto.
Well, what do you know? You signed Peter Vermees to an extended contract till 2023, putting him out of the talk for U.S. men's national team coach. And he also sits there and wonders what the hell is going on, U.S. men's national team and U.S. soccer, about what is your direction. But Sporting Kansas City, 24 points, number 1 in the league right now. And everybody's sitting there going, at the end of the season last year, we were talking about, what are they going to do without Dom Dwyer? Forget that. They're in first. LAFC still doing well, being the expansion team at 20 points. Portland and then Dallas at 17. Vancouver and Houston round up that playoff spots right now. So, cool for the West.
Thanks to a 90+9 penalty for Vancouver in that match.
Yeah, freaking crazy.
Is Zusi still playing right back?
Yes.
Is he? Okay. I haven't really paid attention to Sporting much. I've been wallowing in my Seattle sadness.
I'm sorry.
The only reason why Sporting has caught my eye is, when the hell did they start scoring goals? I mean, I guess that's what they decided to do.
Because I mean, their team got some chemistry. It's not all on one guy, so it helps. You know, I'm trying to go through and figure out their stats while we're talking, but it's not working for me at the minute. So while that's happening, Atlanta barely over NYCFC and the Columbus Crew. What do you know? Threaten them with leaving, and what do? Put up wonderful numbers throughout this season so far. 24 points, tied with NYCFC and Atlanta United. And the weird thing is NYCFC is having Piatek Vieira in talks to go to Nantes or Nice in France as the coach. So, wonder what the Manchester City folk have to think about that. Him leaving.
He's not the only MLS guy that's leaving. Tyler Adams.
Yep, Tyler Adams might be going to, well, same company. So, I don't know how much of that is too much of a stretch, you know. RB Leipzig, still a better spot for him, though, to go and ply his trade. And he might go to Salzburg on loan after that. So, and they got to, what, the semifinals of the Europa League?
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool for Tyler Adams if he does get to make the move. Not that New York Red Bulls are doing too bad. They're sitting in 4th. Orlando, doing well, sitting in 5th with 19 points, Eric.
Yeah, boy! Thank you, Jason, for finally wising up and doing something right, not breaking my heart like another coach.
And the Revolution.
This is what happens when you listen to me, Ben.
Yeah, see, Ben and the DC United are all the way down at the bottom with 8 points. So.
Well, at least Eric and I both have teams at the bottom.
Yeah.
But see, Rachel, it's different. Now you're getting used to the misery that I feel week after week after week. But you have answers. You know what's going wrong. With me, it's like, no, you hype up everything else and all these players in this movement and saying, oh, we're going to be so much better. But you know, at the bottom of your heart, you're going to find yourself drinking away your sorrows and bashing things with a baseball bat every time that final whistle blows. This is what you do to me, Ben.
How have you not been arrested yet?
I don't know. Well, I do know. There's thankfulness as far as things with shenanigans, but that's a story for another podcast.
At least he is that. Sadly, the Venezuelan president, Mr. Maduro, still got reelected. Ugh.
Well, hey, John Oliver said, yes, this is what's going to happen. Another 5 years of the Maduro diet.
Somebody kill him, please. Please. It'd be great.
Keep in mind,
so people can actually eat in Venezuela.
Okay, let me just say for the record, officially, the views of Sean Garmer do not reflect those of Soccer to the Max, the W2M Network, or any of its various affiliates. We will say that officially for any gubernatorial agencies that may be listening in. Unofficially and off the record, if someone were to come up with ideas better than poo-poo talk cocktails, we would entertain them and assist in any exercising of those activities without judgment or prejudice.
Thank you, Eric.
Amen.
For the legal cover up, even though technically I would probably, as the head of the whole thing, still get lambasted or whatever. But I appreciate
Look,
that,
this
Eric.
is why I'm here. I mitigate the damage at the very least.
Man, you should be hired at DC United.
Yeah, you should, Eric.
Yes, Ben, I'm here. I'm from DC. I'll even put up with that shiny new stadium, Ben.
What's wrong with the stadium? What?
Oh, Sean, you just poked the bear.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Where it is? Who sponsors it? Why the hell it even exists?
Wait, do you not like Audi or something? Like, what's wrong with Audi? They don't have anything to do with the... They have money. They're giving money to DC.
Fact that Audi, a historic car maker in their own right. Yes, they are no Bavarian Motorwerke. No, they're not. But we accept that. You would think that for someone putting their proud name over this league and having fantastic statistics that I can keep track of, you wouldn't think that, hey, maybe we shouldn't kind of do this and maybe we should help with this to add with that historic thing, breathing new life and doing all of these extra things. My God, I can sit here right now and think of about 5 different marketing things that would have helped Audi had they decided to put in just a teeny bit of cash to help rebuild RFK. But no, shiny, bright, new, and they stamp themselves all over that.
Hold on, it's Audi. They're not going to want something old.
You're not wanting something old, but you're building and you're revitalizing and you're creating something new, rising from the ashes. Look at the development and evolution of things. My God, the ideas are flowing. Damn it, Ben, this is your fault.
I'm sure the ownership also didn't want to deal with RFK anymore either, but...
Nope, Ben's fault.
It's Ben.
Ben could have at least said something. Either he gets something right and they spend time in RFK, or they tell Ben to pack sand and DC United has a new coach. Either way, I win.
Well,
Wait, have they torn down RFK yet?
No.
Okay,
no,
well,
RFK is being
change the
used as
part of it.
like they're gonna have like facilities there and stuff like that for
Facilities for what?
I think it's like for soccer and other sports or
so it's good enough to have facilities.
Not for DC United. I think just for like sports in general. I don't know. I forgot what they were doing with that. Talking about packing sand, I'm sure all the people in Columbus wish that Mr. Anthony Precourt would do that, but unfortunately he is still out there trying to get Columbus Crew moved to Austin. The McCalla Place thing is still going on. That's the one by the former chemical dump, by the way. And now they have actually released their first, I don't know, the model or whatever they are trying to do with this. It's apparently going to include walkways, trails, a performance center. There will possibly be an addition of a Capital Metro rail station, possibly. They will also have to play at a temporary site for 2019. But there's a snag that they have hit now, as PSV and MLS are bogged down in litigation with Columbus, as a Franklin County judge has ordered a 90-day stay because of a lawsuit filed by Ohio Attorney General and the City of Columbus trying to enforce the Modell Law so that they cannot move to Austin or, well, until local bidders are at least given an actual real chance to buy the team.
Good.
So...
keep sticking it to the man, Columbus.
Yeah, good job, Columbus. Let's hope that you get a local company to buy the team or something so that they can stay there. But I don't know. I still feel like Precourt might come out roses in the end, but we'll see. This would really be something awesome if they could get this to happen, but I don't know.
Go down fighting. In Columbus, do what Cleveland didn't. If you need me to help, I'll be there. You're a nicer city anyways.
Orlando SC is another MLS team that gets a YouTube TV deal. This is not replacing their local TV deal. It's just another way for you to watch Orlando local games if you live in the area and say you happen to have YouTube TV, you can watch them all on there. So cool for Orlando and another way for them to get money. So there you go.
Again, this is what happens when a franchise does something right. Good things happen out of this.
Yep, Seattle also has the same deal. So, both your teams now on that YouTube TV, guys. Maybe you need to subscribe or something. I feel like that's what they're telling you to do anyway.
Yeah, well, if the people at Google would, hurry up and bring Google Fiber and YouTube TV to Jacksonville so I can partake of this, I would be glad to. But nah, they playing.
All right, and here goes our... Let's talk about stuff outside of the... Well, one of them we normally talk about all the time, but that's also because the voting is going to be happening pretty soon. Some other stuff is more of a broad decisions in FIFA going on that we're going to talk about here in a second. But so here's the latest on the politics surrounding the 2026 World Cup bid, which is set to take place on June 13th. South Africa has changed for voting for the US, Mexico, and Canada bid because of conflict over the independence of Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, also known as the Western Sahara. The most Muslim countries are now going to vote for Morocco because of the US's decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and moving the US embassy to Jerusalem. France is backing Morocco because they're France, and they are apparently opposed to anything US normally. So, politics invading bids because apparently the soccer teams would get punished severely by their nation if they don't.
This is bringing great disrespect to the color orange. You see what you're doing to us, all you folk in the White House? Just go away, never come back, let the adults in the room fix this mess, and everything will be okay. Morocco! And I used to somewhat like you, South Africa. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, the best part is that the FIFA president is apparently encouraging the ethics task force to find any evidence they possibly can to disqualify the Morocco bid.
Oh, now you're using ethics, FIFA. Now you bring this about. A little bit too late for that, isn't it?
I just think it's funny. You have allowed this to go on. You haven't gotten people to get behind the Morocco bid, and now when it looks like there's any kind of chance that Morocco could win, now we have the FIFA president coming out and going, yeah, let's find some kind of way to disqualify it because this is going to kill us when it comes to revenue and all the other things that we need.
No, Infantino. Let this happen. You and Sepp Blatter, you let Russia have it. No offense, Rachel. You're letting Qatar have it. No. Have a 48-team World Cup held in a tiny country like Morocco. We here in North America will be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The U.S. is probably the only, and with maybe a few other exceptions, one of the countries that can host a 48-team World Cup without having to make an aggressive move into building stadiums and all that kind of stuff. Let
the team that still has the World Cup attendance record and who can host it tomorrow without really having to build a damn thing. No. Let's just have us be on the touchline for all this. We cool. We good. We don't need you anyway. We have our sports.
Damn, Eric. Anything else you want to get off your chest there?
Maybe. Some things that I can't quite say for this show exactly, but maybe.
I feel like we need to just have Soccer to the Max Eric rant hour. We could get a lot of...
A mailman hour.
We could get so many hits with that. Just Erik go off on people for 30 minutes.
Why not? I mean, I could do it. And I mean, hey, Infantino, I mean, look, rugby sees fit to have us the Sevens World Cup here, where they're even organizing a great new format, and we're having some of the key matches at a baseball stadium. But no. You go do you, we gon' do us. I.
If you want to get even more mad at, well, first of all, before we get to that, I think a little bit of good news should be in between, just because last year there was a lot of talk about, oh man, have we reached the zenith of having the Premier League shown in the United States? Is NBC starting to get diminishing returns? Well, maybe that was just because the season wasn't that good last year, but this season, without including Telemundo numbers or the NBC Sports Gold, Premier League coverage for all the NBC networks attracted a record 39.3 million viewers for this season, which is 14% over last year. And yeah, I mean, considering almost everything else is in decline, that's pretty good. Considering it also comes on at sometimes ungodly hours of the morning, that's a pretty good number.
I just really wish I would have been able to sleep through Manchester United and West Brom. And then they followed that up with that result against Brighton? Dear Lord!
At least the Man United-Man City game in April set the record for most viewers ever for U.S. history watching an EPL game.
And we could have had another great one in the FA Community Shield, but no! Someone wearing red had to crap the bed at Wembley on Saturday.
You care about the Community Shield, Erik?
In that case, yes, because I wanted to say, oh, you're going to set all these records for this season? Look at what we can still do, bitch! Flap! It would have been a proper way to properly introduce the upcoming Premier League season. But no, United had to screw that up as well.
The one person that cares about the Community Shield about here, Erik Watkins. Hit him up at Squid Sportshead. Tell him how much the Community Shield means to you. It needs to happen. I want like 5 tweet conversations from Erik next week about all these people that also join Erik in caring about the Community Shield.
I'm sure Chelsea fans aren't going to complain about it.
Maybe not, but they're also not going to be like going crazy about it either. But if you aren't done hearing some yelling yet, maybe we'll get some more yelling at Mr. Gianni Infantino, who, after UEFA has come out and vehemently exclaimed that they want time off for the players and that the players need to play less matches and everything else, well, here comes FIFA wanting a 24-team Club World Cup to take place. No! To take the place of the Confed Cup.
Nobody cares about. I'm probably one of the only people who can even recognize some of the Japanese stadiums that tournament is played in. Oh dear, no.
Okay, well, for one, right now it's been shelved because UEFA was like, no, we're not doing this. I don't care if you put in a £2 billion prize fund or, whoever, or that Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Manchester United wanted it to happen, but everybody else was like, no. Even if it's every 4 years, that's a lot for these players.
No, and it's stupid. I'm sorry, Infantino, you have top European teams turning down what would in essence be free money, lots of it. Don't you think in that brain of yours that that's a little bit of a sign saying, hey, maybe I've lost the plot on this one. Maybe I'm going a little bit too far. Does that even register to someone like you?
Yeah, oh no, it gets even better. He also apparently he has an idea for a World Nations League. Not just a Nations League, let's have a World Nations League. FIFA wants to build on the Nations League being proposed by UEFA and CONCACAF to create more opportunities for national teams to play meaningful games within the existing and the international match calendar. So this would happen at confederation level with different levels, divisions divided into groups of 4 teams, ensuring 6 games for each national team. The best teams would then qualify for a final 8 tournament, essentially up to 3 games in the following year.
Jack in the Box, Jesus, Infantino, what is wrong with you? Do you even have to realize the level of infrastructure you would have to develop for something like that? Have you sincerely lost your mind? How would you even organize that on a global level? What confederations would you have playing against each other? How would the final tournament work? And
well, it would all happen
that
at confederation level, then you'd have to...
Games? Oh, Jesus.
No, you're telling me. Apparently this is also going to be every 4 years, too, because he wants some kind of guarantee until 2033, and it's talking about 3 other editions, so this would be the only way this could happen is you'd have to have everybody operate under a Nations League, number one. So it wouldn't just be CONCACAF, and it wouldn't just be UEFA. You'd have to have all the other confederations decide that, okay, we're only going to all play each other, and this is also going to count into World Cup qualification, I'd assume. And then whoever, wins out of the confederations, you'd basically be creating your own Confederations Cup again. But you played it throughout ever so many years instead of just having it. Aren't you trying to get rid of the Confed Cup? I mean...
No. He's not getting rid of the Confederation Cup. He's trying to make it better. His own twisted... Wait, where is he from? Switzerland? France?
Yeah, Switzerland.
Wherever. He's with what?
He's from Switzerland.
Okay, see? Exactly. Look, you're Swiss. They know timepieces, they know chocolate, they know neutrality.
Jeez.
Stick to those 3 things, you'll be just fine. We had a Swiss guy heading up soccer, and look at where we are now. Don't try to follow his lead, all right? Just no.
I mean, you don't have to do too much to follow his lead, so...
And where the hell would you even fit this within the international calendar anyways? Oh my God, the stupidity it spreads. FIFA's becoming an idiocracy in front of my own eyes. I can't take it. The light, it burns.
Oh my God.
Erik, you need a nice glass of wine.
I don't have any.
Aww.
I have other stuff too, but I ran out of that, not thinking about having all of this news dumped on me.
Rachel, so, I mean, the idea of having teams that maybe don't get friendlies all the time, being able to play games is a good idea, but this is just crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at the FIFA calendar and how packed it is and everything, and like Erik said, or I think it was Erik who said it, where is it gonna fit?
People want less tournaments. Well, I mean, the players want less tournaments. We're gonna add more? I mean, might as well start sending, U23 teams to these things, because...
And as a side note, the biggest complaint is about for these other confederations not having friendlies against some of the best teams to increase their skill level and sharpen themselves to grow their nation and their continent as a whole in potential World Cup tournaments. Having something like this does the exact opposite and completely defeats the purpose. You have your sect of people that are saying, okay, you have exclusively South American and European teams in the World Cup final and they dominate the knockout stages. Don't you think that that would get even worse if you do something like this?
Well, I mean, Europe and CONCACAF are already doing it, right? So you're taking out two of the confederations that could potentially play.
You're taking two, fine. And CONCACAF is only following UEFA's suit, which you can kind of understand through their various microcosms. So you get that. But even that is going to present its own issues within the next decade or so. Watch what happens. Now you're going
South
to
America doesn't really need it because they can always get games against somebody.
Exactly. Not to mention they've only got 10 nations anyways. They cool. They're pretty self-sufficient.
I mean, you've also got like four of the most, when it comes to soccer, like you're talking about 3 or 4 of the biggest nations in the entire world, you know? So, I mean, and then the others aren't, you know, that bad either. So, I mean, unless you know, excluding like Venezuela and Bolivia or something. But, you know, you got some solid 8 teams there that almost everybody wants to play. And, you know, Asia's got, you know, a lot of their teams that I'm sure they'd want to play people. Africa has that same issue. I don't know what we're talking about when it comes to Oceania, because really it's like New Zealand and
exactly, it's mailmen and everybody else in
right. So it's just like, well, I mean, at least let the other nations be able to play other teams. Perhaps it's just, I don't think we all need to have the League of Nations for everybody, because for some of these confederations like South America, Oceania, it's like almost pointless. Like, no need. You know, and it gives Asia and Africa a chance to at least play some other teams.
Exactly, and some of those countries need all the help that they can get.
And you know, as far as the Club World Cup goes, I think it doesn't matter how big you try to make that thing. It doesn't matter if you make it 1/2 of or 1/3 of a Champions League with, you know, 12 European teams and then everybody else. It's still not. I still don't think it's going to matter to people. I think people are still going to see it as a nuisance. It's never going to be the big thing you want it to be. Just yeah.
All you have to do to help even bring up a little bit of a prestige of the Club World Cup. Number 1, instead of 7 teams, you make it 8. You don't have to go as far as making it a knockout tournament or even a traditional 8-team tournament. Add just 1 extra team, 2 triangulars. The winners of the triangulars go on to meet the Copa Libertadores and UEFA Champions League winners in the semifinal, and you have the final. Number 2, for God's sakes, get it out of the UAE and Japan, okay? Give other countries or other continents any incentive to try to host it.
I don't know if they want to host it. That's the problem.
Well, you would think someone's surprised. Hell, even give it to someone like, say, I don't know, a New Zealand or even a Fiji. Show, hey, we're not just mailmen and rugby players this side of the planet. Do something. Come on, like, get the paddles to it. Clear the table. Shock it a little bit. Bring it back to life. Pound on its chest if you have to.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what they're trying to do, right? But they're not trying to shock it. They're trying to, like, knock it out into the next, like, galaxy or whatever.
No, this isn't shocking it. This isn't paddles to the heart. This is electrodes to the damn temples here. That's what they're trying to do. That's not what you need to do.
I agree.
We want resuscitation, not electroshock therapy.
I mean, it also doesn't help that the same 2 teams, like you said, always... Or it's not the same 2 teams, but the same 2 confederations always meet at the end. It's really rare that it's not that. And even then, it's either one of those 2 confederations always winning. So it almost feels like it's just a training exercise for those 2 confederations. And
Well, no, I have to give the mailman a shout out here. Auckland City did make a run, and they did breach, and I believe they finished third one year. So you do have those occasional surprises.
right, but I mean, it's really rare because of the total discrepancy in the club teams, who they play and all that stuff. It's just, I think it'd be a great thing for an MLS team to be like, oh, I finally made the Club World Cup or whatever. When it's 24 teams, and I'm guessing at that point every confederation would get 2 teams in, aside from Europe that would get 12. That's a whole different ballgame, right? So, what are you saying that the 2 finalists now, you don't even have to play that final game to become the champion? The 2 finalists now automatically make it, or?
Honestly, if you're going to do that at 24 teams, every confederation needs 4. Make it at least somewhat equitable.
No, you can't do that because they have to have 12 from Europe.
What the? Why? No!
That's the whole point. They want to give 12 European teams an incentive.
Damn it, Infantino, you're being stupid again.
And, they're trying to basically, like you said, give them free money. And they don't want that because that's a lot of games you got to play. If you make it all the way to the final, you played 5 games in 1 year. Now, granted, if you had the Confed Cup, there's only 8 teams in that, so there's way less players playing in that thing. Now you got 24 players, and it's your club, so you're getting paid to be at that thing, and you have to be there, whereas with the national team, you can fake an injury, or, you can just say you don't want to go, or whatever. Like, that's a whole different deal. You have to play. So, like, if you're Ronaldo and you wanted that, that part of the summer off, tough luck for you, dude. You got to play.
Look, Ronaldo needs the money. He supposedly has kid number 5 on the way, so it's kind of a bad example.
I mean, maybe if he, totally mismanaged his money by this point, but the dude makes how much now? I mean, come on.
Well, he's mismanaging something. That's why he's almost got 5 kids.
Hey!
Is it bad to have 5 kids, Eric? I mean,
yes.
If you can do it.
Ronaldo!
If you can do it and you don't have to be there the whole time for him, is it that really bad?
Yes,
I mean,
but then you got one baby mama that you were able to go and deal with. She didn't want to be around. That's fine. But then you had to go ahead and have twins by a surrogate. And now you got another baby mama whose family's pressuring you to put a ring on it. And now she's coming up with another one. Bruh, you were making some bad decisions off the pitch. Come on now. I used to like you. I still have your jersey. But you are not making this easy on me right now.
Oh, but I understand him too. What is he, 33? Do you really want to go get that vasectomy at 33?
I would.
I mean, that's kind of young, but...
And nowadays it's reversible. Nowadays you even have stuff where all you have to do is flip a switch and you can shut your baby making factory on, off, at your leisure. And for someone like Ronaldo, they would make this perfectly accessible to him.
I know, but you can't have some agreement to get on the pill or something. Damn.
Oh, come on. With her and her family knowing that this is Ronaldo, please. All aboard the damn gravy train. Hashtag choo choo.
God. I don't know what happened here, but we got to, yeah. So, my point was that he just needed some time off. Then Eric brought in a whole legitimate other point. But still, this is just, it's nuts. I like the idea of more tournaments, so we got to remember about the welfare of these players, how many games they're playing already. I really don't want people going, I don't want to play in the World Cup because I got injured playing in this Club World Cup last year. It's just, let's think about what matters here. Let's not keep adding things to... we're already adding more and more teams to these tournaments, making it to where you have more and more players playing, which is cool enough, or maybe to the detriment of those tournaments. But, like, let's not add club tournaments and all that stuff. We don't need that. We already have them. It's called the Champions League. It's called Europa League. It's called whatever other thing, CONCACAF Champions, whatever they want to call it this year. Just, that should be enough. Seriously. I get FIFA wants to get in the club game. They have for the longest time. I just don't think it's going to be what they want it to be, ever. It doesn't matter how many teams they want to do, how many billions of dollars they want to throw at it. There's people that are going to be willing to say no, and you get enough of them, it's not going to happen. I just don't know where, and I think the biggest thing is, so you're going to have you're going to have confederation tournaments interrupting with that too. So then you got national teams going, hey, I got the Gold Cup going on. Hey, I got the African Cup of Nations going on. Like, hello? We need to play these too, and we need those players. Come on, FIFA. What are you going to do?
Don't be stupid. That's what you should do.
Easier said than done, my friend.
Especially when it comes to FIFA. But
that's why there's Dragonberry Rome.
That's true. All right, anything else we want to talk about before we get out of here on this evening?
I think I'm all right. Maybe.
All right. I take that silence as we are moving on. So, hey, we are less than a month away from the World Cup. So that means you'll be getting World Cup previews pretty soon from Erik and myself. If Rachel wants to be in on that, let us know.
Yes, sir. Bring me on.
And yeah, so we'll be getting them out at a fast clip, at least for the first 4. And then after that, we'll be going weekly with 2 a week until we get to the final week, which will have our full World Cup predictions show from, all the groups to the playoff brackets, all that. So June 10th, get ready, folks, because we'll be doing all our predictions then. And then you'll be days away from watching Russia and Saudi Arabia in that first game.
Oh, for the love of God, we better win.
Yeah, that's the game that Russia has to win, because
for the love of God. God, I don't ask for much, but I just want to make it to the group of death. I think we can do it over Uruguay. I think we can do it over Saudi Arabia. We're going to get our you-know-what beat by Egypt. But for the love of God.
Look, Vladimir Putin, I love you. I've heard a lot of things that you said about Russia and your women. If there were ever a time you were to break out the polonium soup, would anybody really complain in this case?
Nope.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think that Egypt is just going to be running away with things. You got Salah, and then it's you got a couple of other guys, and then they get really defensive after that. So if Russia can find a way to break through, you never know. Maybe they get 6 points, maybe they get 4, and that's enough. It's not total loss. Uruguay is a whole different deal. If they don't get 9 points, I think that's going to be interesting how that went for them. But we'll see. That Group A is going to be fun to watch, and I think the rest of it. And maybe not the first game of the World Cup that I think everybody's like dying to watch, but I'm ready. I'm ready for this World Cup to start. Of course, when that happens, Rachel, I don't want to nail you down for this because I know you're a lot busier than Erik and I. But at least Erik and I are planning to do them as often as we possibly can.
I would love to because I'm currently unemployed. Yay!
Well, if you're still unemployed by then, you will have the advantage of probably being able to watch them live. Erik and I will have to marathon after work because all the games are going on during the exact time that I'm at work. So this is going to suck. I'm basically going to go home and watch 6 hours of... it's not that bad, but having a marathon 6 hours of soccer is not always the greatest thing when you're
Well,
tired.
they'll go on while I'm at work too, but I'm at the point to where I defy my employers to get me to try to do something, especially during the World Cup. I did it successfully 4 years ago, and damn it, I'm going to do it again.
I'm just going to be interested at my job how much that's going to affect things because, what we do, the people that are also involved that are not technically workers are probably going to really be interested in this and how much that captivates them as well, how much it changes what we have to do. So and of course I work with a bunch of, one Peruvian that's also a Colombian. He is like half Peruvian, half Colombian. I work with another Colombian, a lot of Cubans, but there's also like I'm Venezuelan there, but my team's not there. I think like almost all the Latin American teams are represented in my crew of people that I work with, so that's going to be fun as far as, when we're all watching, if we can watch. So luckily, one of them is on during break time, so... But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna wonder how quickly everybody's going to ask to want to be in the office and not doing deliveries while the World Cup's on, but...
Oh, yeah. Plus, I've got 2 games on my birthday, so that's even added incentive.
Exactly. So, yeah, after... I think for a while, the group stage goes... That first game with Russia and Saudi Arabia, then it goes 3 games a day. So, yeah. Get ready for nonstop soccer action, whether you watch it on Fox, FS1, Telemundo, whatever your fancy. Get ready for that in less than a month's time. We'll be back, I want to say, on Wednesday for sure in some way or another. And Sunday will be our normal doing the show. We'll get back into talking about the actual NWSL games and everything next on Sunday. I don't know. Do they have games all the way up to... I think they take a break like the week before the World Cup, right? Everything stops. Is that how that works?
Really good question.
I need to know that. I know MLS is crazy and they don't care, but I know NWSL actually tries to be like a normal soccer league. So let me see the schedule really quick while we're on.
You could learn something from that, Dawn.
Oh, Dawn doesn't operate on normal.
They kind of take a break, not too much.
Oh no, NWSL plays through the World Cup. So that's going to be fun. They don't take a break at all. MLS takes
like a 10-day.
Yeah, but there's not really, because the World Cup will be like 2 days old. And then they go on and keep playing. So.
Oh, NWSL.
Well, technically it's the women, I guess, so they see it as, they wouldn't be going against what the guys are doing. I think MLS takes a break all the way until the end of the group stage, and then they're done after that. So let me see. MLS plays all the way up until the day before. They play a marathon on the Wednesday before.
Really, Dawn? Really, Dawn? Really?
Yep. Really, Dawn. Exactly. They play that weekend, and then they play a whole slate the week before, and then they come back on the 23rd. Yeah, like Rachel said, a 10-day thing, which is like not even the full group stage. It's like a half the group stage.
You don't have to give me a full slate of MLS games as a birthday present, Don. You don't have to go that far.
Well, Don wanted to. Eric, he knows you're his biggest supporter. So
You just send me
it's
a
for
gift
you,
card.
Eric.
Some swag, some merch. I don't need games. I'm good, Don. Use the gift receipt. Take it back.
God. All right, well, make sure if you enjoy what you heard, whether you watch on YouTube, whether you listen on your favorite podcasting service, on WTMNet.com, listening to the WTM Network. We appreciate you. Thank you. Let us know with a comment somewhere, or just, you can hit that subscribe button, whether it's Soccer to the Max WTM Network. You can listen to all the stuff we do. You can also review us on iTunes or any other podcasting service that you listen to us on. Give us the 5 stars, and it helps us grow and reach other people. We will be doing Group A preview as long as everything goes right tomorrow, Monday. And then it will be a double of Group B and C, or possibly C and D, depending on everybody's schedule, either Tuesday or Wednesday. And then it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday after that, all the way up until when the World Cup starts. So we will see you later, everybody.
Peace.
See ya.